What's up, Pirates fans? Happy Friday night. Maybe not actually all that happy of a Friday night. Pirates lose again. We hop on here and we're talking about another loss. This one stings a bit because they definitely had chances to come through and grab this one. But the Pirates lose 5-4. They are back to 500 on the season, 34-34. They are now out of first place. And they are now tied with the Cincinnati Reds for second place, a half game now behind the Milwaukee Brewers. Tyler, how you doing tonight?
It's been a bad day, Jim. Been a bad day. Frustrating. That's the big thing coming back just to the game. It was a very winnable game. And they just didn't come through in the key situations that they had to. I mean, I don't know where to start with it. It's just a lot of things weren't done well tonight. I feel like it's been said a lot lately, and that's why the Pirates are back to 500.
Yeah, I will say this, they showed some fight tonight. That's kind of been a thing with this team all year is I feel like they've gotten down and then you've seen nothing from them, right? Today they got down 4-1, made it 4-2, got down 5-2, and then they kind of clawed back into it, made it a game 5-4. They showed some fight there in the ninth inning, but they just couldn't come through and punch through. So let's kind of start, I guess, at the end. Let's work our way back because that ninth inning, that was probably one of the more exciting parts of this game. It starts off, Devin Williams comes into the game for the Brewers, who has been lights out all season long. He struggled, a bit in his last outing earlier this week, but overall one of the best closers in baseball, right? And the Pirates, Sawinski gets a walk, 1-out walk, and then Bucko Mike's boy, he's already talking about him in the comments here. Josh Palacios, just a great approach. Devin Williams has that outstanding changeup, and Palacios, really good job of hitting, staying back, driving it the other way. He a double off Devin Williams there in the ninth, down by 1. So you've got second and third, 1 out. The Brewers aren't even playing their infield in. All you got to do now, just put the ball in play, and you got a tie game, and Brian Hayes strikes out.
Yeah. I know we're working backwards here, but just going back to what Brian Hayes did previously in the game with runners in scoring position, I thought coming into that at bat, in my mind, I'm thinking Brian Hayes might be the guy I want up right now. The way he's approached everything, like you said, with the infield back, he's pretty much got free reign to do anything he wants there. He can get to what he's been doing and getting out in front of things and pulling it, or he can even sit back and just put a ball in play and chop it to second base, and it's going to tie the ball game up. Instead, he did absolutely the worst thing you could do there, and just a really, really, really bad approach by Brian Hayes there. Fortunately, we're not used to seeing it from him, so I don't want to rip him to shreds, but in that spot, you just can't do what he did.
It's funny you mentioned that because I was thinking the exact same thing. I'm like, you know what? We harp on Hayes and his approach all the time, but in that situation against that pitcher with his changeup, that approach that he takes is like what you want to see a guy do in that situation. And I kind of knew we were in trouble just the first strike. He fouled off that first changeup, pulled it down the third baseline. And I'm like, he's not doing what he normally does, you know? And then he got in a hole, and then, Williams made a good pitch with 2 strikes, and it kind of froze Hayes. So, yeah, that was disheartening. Ji-Hwan Bae comes up next and walks, and then Jason DeLay, who had to come into the game because Austin Hedges needed to get pitch hit for in the 8th inning. Jason DeLay is up with the bases loaded and 2 outs. When guess what, Tyler? If there would just be another catcher on this damn 26-man roster who could hit, if only that guy existed somewhere out there in the universe, maybe this all works out different.
Yeah, I mean, if that were a thing, I'm sure we would go deep into it tonight, but I don't think it is an option. But about the delay at bat, the poor fellow was just so overmatched. He didn't stand a chance up there.
He had no shot.
None.
Devin Williams was just simply better than him. Yeah.
It was reminiscent of watching Brent Morel have to take on Aroldis Chapman in the 9th inning back in the day.
When the 0-1 pitch where he just did this to a 94-mile-an-hour fastball on top of the zone, I was just like, game's over. I was like, the game's over on that pitch right there. It's done. He had his head. He was in a pretzel. He got put in a pretzel at that point.
Oh yeah, and it didn't look any better on strike 3.
No. So, yeah.
He probably deserved a sword more than Carlos Santana for homering tonight. Because he needed a sword on that pitch.
So, yeah, I mean, frustrating is a good word to use. And I think it was Mark here who said wireless grapes. This is a kind of game that, if they were coming off a decent series in Chicago, I'm not really too upset with how they played today. They showed fight, they showed resilience. We got to see Majinski's debut. He gave up a run, but he looked pretty good. Rich Hill clawed and fought his way through 5 innings. He didn't look good doing it, but you needed him to give you at least 5 innings, and he figured out a way to do it. It's again, that's a good way of putting it. It wasn't a terrible game. It's just when you throw it in with all the other losses that we've seen, it's another loss. It's stacking losses at this point, and you don't want to see that.
Yeah, there definitely were some positives to take from the night, but like you mentioned, you can live with these types of games if this team's in a different spot right now. If this was a week ago and they lose a game like this, it's baseball. It happens. But coming off that Cubs series where you just get your teeth kicked in, and especially the way that they lost this game with the outs they gave up, it's a lot of frustration that it makes it tougher to swallow.
Yeah. Let's start with, I think the most frustrating part was the first inning. Just Rich Hill couldn't find the strike zone, which is just odd with him. He walked 3 batters in that first inning. He walked a total of 6 in the game, but actually he walked 4 batters in that first inning. But on top of that, it was a 0-0 game, 2 outs, 0-2 count. And I don't know how it's happening or what's going on here, but Austin Hedges, again, defensive specialist, guru, pitching expert, Austin Hedges, his 4th catcher's interference penalty of the season. It's June 16th. We're not even halfway through the year. Austin Hedges has gotten 4 catcher's interference penalties. And again, today, I feel like every single one leads to something bad. And today, I don't know how it would have ended up, but it was an 0-2 count with 2 outs in a 0-0 game. Catcher's interference happens, 3-run score.
I don't get it either, Jim. I don't is he focusing so hard on grabbing that low strike? Or I don't know exactly what it is, but there is something obviously wrong with the way that he is approaching it as a catcher. That
I've never seen a catcher have this many catcher's interference penalties ever.
Like
and I've watched a lot of baseball.
Jim, at some point, is framing strikes so important that you've given up 4 base runners for free? Because umpires are so bad, they're giving you free strikes this year.
That's true. Like, it's not like you're looking at the broadcast. Hedges isn't the only one stealing strikes.
Right.
Balls are being called strikes off the plate
all night tonight.
All the
Good
time.
Lord.
No matter who it is, no matter who's on the mound, no matter who's behind the plate, balls are being called strikes all the time.
So I really don't know what the issue is with him. But you would think after like the second one, all right, maybe I gotta like scoot back a half inch. Maybe I can't always go for this low strike. Maybe, especially when it's 0-2, we don't really stick our glove out there. And not to make it like a whole Hedges show, but I don't really see what makes him a terrific, like unbelievable defensive catcher. I have not seen it yet.
It's the pitch framing for the most part.
I mean,
but again, like it's not like Jason DeLay's right there when it comes to pitch framing with him.
Maybe he
calls it's just every
I don't know.
And every mistake he makes has come back to haunt the team. And that's the biggest thing. Like, it's not like he's making a mistake and it's not mattering. Like, every mistake he makes is costly. And what's frustrating is there are other options right on the doorstep and they refuse to go with them.
And I mean, the reason that these mistakes are so identifiable is because he's the worst hitter in baseball.
He's awful. He's awful.
If he's just like hitting at like I don't even want to say Jason DeLay, but just like a normal catcher clip.
If he's got like a 70 weighted runs created plus, like you could live with it. I'd still be very angry that Henry Davis in particular is not in the majors, but like you could at least be like, all right, he's a real catcher. But at this point, again, Neil was the one who tweeted it tonight, and it was a good point. The Pirates are in a dire situation here, and they're in a position to win this division. Like, whether you think they're good or not, they're in a position to take the division. That's where they're at, right? They are now tied with a team that consistently trots out Kevin Newman at first base. That's where we're at. That's where we're at right now. Meanwhile, we've got basically Babe Ruth in the minors just crushing the ball.
Oh, we're doing
He's your first overall pick, and you're just letting him just waste away in AAA.
At like 23 years old.
Yeah. What are we doing? What are we doing? Are we serious? Like, is this a serious team? Do you want to be a serious team?
And it's, Jim, it's not even just Austin Hedges behind the plate. They trot Josh Palacios out there 4 out of 5 days.
I'm not even going to trash Palacios to this point because he's been fine.
Well, he also made a G1 Bay type of mistake on the bases tonight.
Oh, it was bad. Yep.
That also very much could have cost his team the game.
Again, good point.
Like, that's atrocious. That was the point where I wanted to kick him off the team. He has been fine. I do like that the Pirates are riding his hot streak a little bit. It's not sustainable. You have actual options in AAA. This is why people get so angry. I feel like every day, Jim, you are tweeting out a video of some AA pitcher getting called up.
It happens every day. Like, it's every day that there's another team out there calling up some guy who's way younger and way less experienced than the guys the Pirates have in the minors who can help this team right now.
And I don't want to get down this rabbit hole, but like, as a fan base, we get in
Let's go down.
I know, but as a fan base, I feel like people have gotten to a point where they look at prospects and think if they don't look like they are absolutely dominating a level, they're not ready. There are some guys that just aren't going to be the best of the best, but they are better than what you have. Like you mentioned it earlier today on Twitter, I believe Quinn Priester's not going to be an ace at this point. The stuff doesn't look like it's a top of the rotation type of deal. He's still a major league caliber pitcher over what you have. Henry Davis might not be Bryce Harper, but he's probably going to hit above average in the major leagues right now. You're sending Austin Hedges out there every day. And as Osvaldo Bido got a start. And Roansy Contreras can't get anybody out because I think his arm's like ramen noodles right now. I just don't get it. I feel like I say that all the time about this team. I just don't get it.
Yeah, that was a good tangent, but let's head back to the game.
Yeah,
game I poked the bear.
You poked the bear.
All right, let's talk about Carmen Mlodzinski. 2020. I guess you can call him a first round pick. He was, a supplemental pick that year. I think he was the 36th overall, 31st overall pick in 2020. All right. Makes his major league debut as a reliever, and he strikes out his first batter in 3 pitches. Second batter, home run. Third batter, walk. So he gets all of those things out of the way real quick. But he settles down. He ends up going an inning and a third. He gives up the 1 run. I think the stuff looked good, though. If you're just looking from a pure stuff standpoint, he topped out at 98 miles per hour. He got 4 swings and misses. The sweeper looked really good. He threw that 54% of the time. The fastball is like there, but that sweeper is his bread and butter. Statcast is calling it a sweeper. I'd been thinking it was a slider this whole time, but Statcast
it looked more like a slider to me.
Yeah, Statcast is saying sweeper, but it looked really good. The stuff looks like it's going to play. The fastball command is going to be what causes him to be either good or mediocre. But for a debut, you like what you saw as far as the stuff goes.
Yeah, I agree with you fully. I think you kind of just throw that 1 run out the window. First major league appearance. The arm slot's really interesting. I like it a lot. The fastball gets on you quick. Like you said, they call it a sweeper. I think it looks way more like a slider. It's real sharp, but he was able to command that tonight. He just left 1 fastball up. All things considered, he's an arm in the bullpen that has a lot better stuff than probably 3 guys in the pen right now.
Yeah. So the fastball averaged 96.2, topped out at 97.7. So, yeah, I mean, good. The stuff looked good. Like I said, so hopefully he can get a nice long run. Hopefully he's here to stay. But, yeah, the fastball command is going to be his calling card. If he can command that fastball and put it where he wants to, the sweeper's good enough that I think he's going to be successful. I think the Pirates may have something there.
I agree. Yeah, completely. I think he's a future part of this bullpen. And really no complaints about him, even though he gave up a run. Like, I thought he looked pretty sharp other than the 1 pitch.
Yeah, I agree. Dauri Moreta comes in, does his thing. Just an inning and 2/3.
Good Lord, what a Sally.
Man, it's amazing. I love it. Like, at that point, too, it was a 5-4 game at that point.
5-4
so, like,
game.
it was close. So, yeah, big out. And
Woo,
I love the guy. I absolutely love the guy.
He went all out with that one. I can't imagine what this fella's going to do if he ever gets a save.
Imagine him in, like, a postseason game.
Oh, dear Lord.
Imagine him like it's Bucktober, PNC Park. There's a blackout, 40,000 fans going crazy. He strikes out Bryce Harper in an NLCS game in like the 7th inning.
The guy's a hell of a lot of fun as long as he's performing. If he's not performing, I'm going to find him a lot less fun. But for right now, I'm really enjoying him. And that slider, curveball, screwball type pitch he's got going on. I don't know how it works, but it's getting swings and misses.
Yeah. So that's the pitching staff there. Offensively, like I said, not a whole lot. They mustered up 4 hits today. A lot of what they did was done in kind of spurts. Carlos Santana, home run, got the Pirates on the board in the 2nd inning. His 6th home run of the year. So that was nice to see. Other than that, though, just not a lot of extra base hits. Like the only other extra base hit was the Palacios double in the 9th. G1 Bay kind of created a run by himself in the 6th. So that was good to see. Because like when he is on and doing his thing, those are the sort of things that he's capable of doing. He walked, stole 2nd, moved to 3rd on a Hedges grounder, scored on a sac fly. Like that was a G1 Bay type of run right there. So he shows you from time to time these glimpses where like, okay, like this is what we need to see out of you. He just needs to be more consistent with it.
Yeah, he's just got to find a way to get on base more.
Yep.
It's similar to Billy Hamilton back with the Reds, where it seemed like he was on base all the time against the Pirates, but against everyone else, he was never on base. But when he is, he manufactures runs by himself.
Yeah.
It's just that neither have been on base enough to really make us want to fight for him or put him on the field every day.
Yeah. We didn't really talk a lot about Rich Hill. Again, I thought it was like the 1st inning was rough, but I don't know how that would have gone without the catcher's interference. But he still doesn't get excused from 4 walks in that inning. I thought he did a pretty decent job of settling in after that 1st inning and getting through 5. But it was a Rich Hill start, at the end of the day.
None of Rich Hill's starts at this point really are pretty. Tonight's just kind of a veteran type of deal where he's going to be able to go out there and keep you in a ball game, but it's not fun to watch. And when the curveball is not being commanded well, it's really bad for him because that fastball is just going to get lit up, or he's just going to walk you all over the place if he can't command it. So he's going to go out there probably and give you a start like this at the worst. You can live with it, but it's who Rich Hill is. He's 43 years old. The Pirates knew what they were getting. We didn't expect him to go out there and look like a Oakland A whenever he came back or at the end of when he came back with the Red Sox. This is who he is. He's going to give you a 4.20 ERA, and at this point in 2023, you live with it.
Yeah, I mean he's been fine. Like I'm not going to complain about Rich Hill for what he's done up to this point in the season. Again, the 1st inning, he definitely deserves some blame because of the walks. But again, Hedges didn't really help him out.
Yeah.
So
I mean, it looks like a Rich Hill start.
Yeah, I mean, if you didn't watch the game and you just pulled up the box score, the 6 walks would jump out at you, I think. But then the overall line: 5 innings, 4 runs, 3 earned. Like it's not great. It's not god awful, but it's not what you want overall.
But I mean, you just kind of live with it as a guy that's going to go give you 5 innings every 5th day.
Yep. So back at it tomorrow. Mitch Keller versus Wade Miley.
Me and you again tomorrow, I think.
Me and you again tomorrow. Yep. Not on Apple TV.
Thank God.
That's a plus.
I made it through this entire episode and didn't complain about it once.
You did.
It caused me to leave our group text tonight.
Do you want to talk about it at all?
No.
The Apple TV.
It's just going to fire me back up. You're doing it again, Jim. You're poking me when I'm angry.
Bucko Mike says top of the order didn't get it done tonight, and yeah, I agree. Did not get it done. Connor will go ahead and say for you. Apple TV broadcasts are such crap,
I just don't
man.
want to buy 5 different subscription services just to be able to watch what I want.
Here's my thing. Here's my
local
thing.
market. Let me watch a damn game.
I get that, but like Apple TV's got some good stuff. Like Ted Lasso.
I can watch that illegally. It's stupid. I don't like it. I don't like the Peacock games. I don't like any of them.
PlayStation also, like I said, I was telling you, 6-month free trial of Apple TV on the PlayStation.
And then my phone's sitting here telling me I got to update it to watch Apple TV. I'm about to throw everything.
Which, by the way, this isn't a one-time thing. The Pirates are on Apple TV next Friday and then the Friday after.
I'm not doing that postgame show.
You know what, guys? Go ahead and just get the Apple TV now out of the way. Cancel it next month.
No, now I paid $7. I'm done.
You're stuck now.
Take my stupid money.
Oh, all right. 4:10 tomorrow. Brewers, Pirates, Keller versus Miley. Pirates are out of first place. They're now tied with the Cincinnati Reds. They're back to 500 even, 34-34. They need a win tomorrow. 4-game losing streak.
Keller's got to be a stopper.
Keller's, yeah, he's got to do what he's got to do what he needs to do.
Yeah. Hey, let's do it again. Nobody else I want on the mound tomorrow other than Mitch Keller.
That's true.
Let's run that back.
Let's do it. All right, guys. Pirates lose 5-4. We'll be back tomorrow. Thanks, everyone.
Peace out, Scouts.
Hey, you all. Thank you for watching. I know we try to provide the most entertaining content that we can, and we'd love to spread it to as many people as possible. So I know it doesn't seem like a lot, but if you could take the 5 seconds to like this video and subscribe to the page, it helps out so much more than you know. Thank you, and let's go Bucks.